everybody, to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear. And then we discuss it over a warm glass of coffee. And I'm your host, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here by my daytime diva, Kat Halstead, the author. Welcome back.
Hi, I like that one.
Ooh,
that was a fun one.
That was off the cuff. I didn't plot that out.
Yeah, like I'm normally sitting here like rolling my eyes at like whatever you say.
I know, she got a little Perky. You're like that girl Perky.
I was like, wait.
Perky from
That's a fun one.
Perky from Designer Women. Yes, welcome to the pod. We're here to talk TV and TV-related things, and who else knows what'll come out of our lips in today's hot episode?
Lord only knows. Lord only knows.
I know. Will we have Cranky Cat today? Will we have Fun Cat? Will we have Tiger Cat?
No more Tiger King references. I am freaking begging you.
I just said Tiger Cat. That's all I said. I think I was thinking Tomcat, like Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, but for some reason I said Tiger Cat.
Dude, it's been months since Tiger King was cool.
What? It's always cool in my book. Not really. I don't really care anymore. I just... hilarious to me that it grinds your gears, so I think that's the reason why I just keep...
Well, I'm also thinking that this episode's probably not going to drop for like another 2-3 months, and by then it's like, why is this weirdo still talking about Tiger King?
Maybe someone out there just discovered it the week that we dropped this, and they're going to totally relate, and they're going to send me a hot tweet and say, hey, I appreciate you for still talking about Tiger King in November. Whatever month it is now. Who knows? Who knows what month it is?
I honestly don't even know, because I don't know when anything's coming out anymore.
That is true. All right, so we're here. As I said, we talk about TV series from yesteryear, and we're going back to our teenage years. Oh, yeah, we're going back to the Frog.
Yes.
Michigan J. Frog.
Yes, I have not watched this since I was a teenager.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised, because here I am holding my my comic book of the series, which I proudly own and have owned for, I don't know, maybe a decade, and I regularly read it. So without any further ado, we are here to do... What are we doing today, Kat Halstead, the author? What are we doing?
Probably the first actual hit for the WB.
Really? You think so?
I think so, yeah.
That Kirk Cameron sitcom wasn't a huge hit for the WB?
No.
Really?
I think I was the only person who watched that.
You wouldn't even say Seventh Heaven or Savannah?
Okay. Okay. So it's probably the second hit.
Okay.
And it's probably one of the most iconic WB shows.
For sure.
I think this is this, Dawson's Creek, and yeah, Seventh Heaven are when you think WB, that's what you think of.
You don't think of Birds of Prey?
No. That's okay. First of all, are you getting the WB confused with the CW?
I don't know. At one point they become merged with the UPN.
And then we get the CW, which it is today. And that most iconic show would, of course, be Supernatural.
Which is still on, as of right now.
Yeah, it's never leaving. I know it's supposed to, finished. They still have, 3 episodes or something, so they're going to come back. That show is never leaving. They're going to find a way to keep it going, guys. They just are.
All right, you think that the coronavirus is really just a conspiracy by the people behind Supernatural just to keep the show going forever?
No.
You're not into that crowd? You're not into that conspiracy corner? I think so.
Coronavirus is not a conspiracy.
I think that Jensen Ackles was like, you know what? This is the last year. We got, 17 of the 20 episodes filmed. I want to keep this going. I want to keep this boat sailing. And I don't know, he called up his scientist pal, and they concocted in their lab late one night. It was an eerie sight, and they created the COVID-19 and get us one more year of Supernatural. At least one more year, right?
No, that's not how this works, Patrick. That's not how this works.
You don't think him and Jared Padalecki, whatever his name is?
No.
They didn't want to upset the Supernatural Tumblr fandom?
Oh god, no, we are not invoking the Super Hulux. No.
All right, what are we doing today? We never even said the name of the show.
We're doing the one, the only, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And I wouldn't say the one and the only, because there is a movie that is separate from the series.
True, and I love that movie. I haven't watched it in forever, though, so that's one of those movies I gotta go back and rewatch.
I'm gonna throw this out there.
Okay.
I watched the movie once when it first came out, or around that time. Maybe I rented it a few years later, and then I had forgotten all about it. I'd forgotten it was a thing. And then one day I was just sitting at home on a Monday night in the spring of 1997. Maybe the TV was on, maybe it was on AOL, maybe it was doing some math homework or something. And then I saw Michigan J. Frog.
Okay, first of all, we all know you were on AOL, because you were on AOL with me.
And I don't know, maybe I was watching a rerun of something, whatever my local UPN affiliate aired at 7:30.
WB.
Oh yeah, WB. And I saw Michigan J. Frog singing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My ears perked up. I was like, what? What is this? Because this show literally, I remember no advertisement for the show whatsoever. I have no recollection of this even like being on the radar for me until it came out. And there it was.
I feel like the soap mags mentioned it because of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Really? You think so?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Oh yeah, like near the end they have like
okay,
what's coming up.
So here's the thing. If you were a Sarah Michelle Gellar stan like I was back then, because I loved her as fucking Sydney Rutledge on Swan's Crossing and as Kendall Hart on All My Children, you perked up if you saw her name in the soap mag.
Oh, yeah. You're like, wait, what is she doing? Buffy the Vampire? What?
I was like, okay. Like, I remember watching Buffy. I don't remember why I stopped, because I watched it for, like, the first season or so.
What point did you stop watching the show? Were they still in high school? Were they at college?
Oh, it was before they were in college. They were still in high school.
Was Eliza Dushku on the scene yet?
No, it was before she came on.
Okay, so you probably dipped out this season. We're doing a season 2, episode 11.
Yeah.
The episode's called Ted. Yeah, Ted.
What was the original air date for this?
December 8th, 1997. This is like right before Christmas. We're gearing up for Christmas this year. I think this is the year I got a new TV.
Oh, yeah. I think this is definitely around the time I dipped out, because this was the year my mom died, so this is when I kind of
stepped away from pop culture for a hot minute or two. And
for a little bit, yeah, until Dawson's Creek came on, and then I was like, oh, let me be obsessed with this.
Yeah, I think because Dawson's Creek came out a few months after this, right? Like early 1998, right?
It came out in January of 1998.
Oh, okay.
I want to say like something ridiculous. Yeah, some really early January date.
So I'm gonna say you didn't really miss that much Buffy then, because I think there's one other episode after this. Then they were done. They did their little like December break, and then they came back like a few weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what young Cat was into? All right. Speaking of December 8th, 1997, are you ready for this hot-ass night of television? This actually is a hot night of television. There's some whammies in here.
Okay, let's see what we got.
All right, it's a Monday night. This show is on a Monday, believe it or not. And tonight, December 8th, ABC, Monday Night Football, all night long. The Carolina Panthers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Ooga.
Okay, I was definitely not watching that.
It ain't the Broncos, right?
Okay, and 16-year-old Cat is not watching football.
You weren't a bucking Bronco yet?
No.
You weren't wearing the starter jacket and dancing around your living room when someone made a touchdown?
No.
Or a Hail Mary?
No.
Is that a word? Is that a football term? Hail Mary?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good for me.
The only time 16-year-old Cat was watching a football game is when I was watching the Hilltoppers.
I don't even know what that is.
That's my high school football team.
Okay. All right.
In New Jersey, so.
You ready for CBS? You ready for CBS comedies?
Yeah, what was on CBS?
8 p.m. He Who Shall Not Be Named. Any guesses?
No.
This was the second, whatever number series starring Bill Cosby, just Cosby.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that good. I didn't really get into it as much. I tried.
I have a friend who was on an episode of that.
We've talked about this like numerous times, right?
I like ages ago.
I don't know. You had a friend, he was an extra, right?
Yeah, an extra in like some episode, like this season.
Ooh, this is the year? This is the hot year? Maybe that episode was on tonight. Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll have to go back and look at the archives and go back to the TV Guide records. All right. CBS 8:30. A staple. This is a Cat Hall said staple.
Okay.
We've done this on the show. We've done one episode very early on in the series, very early on in our podcast reign.
I'm trying to think, because like...
Yeah, I see the gears are turning in your head right now.
Sybil?
Also on this night, but no, everybody loves Raymond.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't get into Raymond yet until like later on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone got into Raymond until like 2004 or something.
Yeah, I feel like I just like randomly found like it rerunning one night, and it was actually like a hilarious episode, and then I was like, oh, I'll catch. That's the same way I ended up watching 2.5 Men, though.
Plot twist. That's a Cat Hall said plot twist. I didn't know you were a 2.5 Menner.
And I also think the Ashton Kutcher seasons are better than the Charlie Sheen seasons.
I'm going to agree with you on that, as having only seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the Ashton Kutcher years. What about the Ambler Tamblyn years?
I mean, those were the Ashton Kutcher years too.
Oh yeah, Amber Tamblyn became the little kid role, right?
Yeah, that is. Well, no, not really even that, because like she was Charlie's long lost daughter who like comes looking for him, doesn't know he's like dead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she's definitely more like Charlie. She was a lesbian, slept around a lot.
Okay.
I feel like half the time, like, you forgot she was there.
Yeah, she wasn't on it that long, right? Didn't she was only on it for maybe half a season, if that even.
Yeah.
It was a good trial run, right? It was a good trial run. See how they can mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they did that after like Angus went all churchy, born again on them or something.
Oh yeah. What a time to be alive! Way back in the scandals of 2.5 Men, which like. Just think of the scandals today and just think of that scandal, and you just kind of like shrugging your shoulders at the wild times of 2.5 Men.
Well, that was huge. I mean, if you're going to make a reference to something Tiger Blood, like, come on, man.
All right.
I mean, oh my God, can we talk about, like, hashtag winning is, like, still a thing because of this?
It is. I just remember every day, you would wake up ready to face the day, and there's a new, like, Charlie Sheen tape out there.
Yeah, it was insane. God, I kind of miss that. I miss that, but, like, I'm sitting here, and I'm scrolling through my tweets, and everybody's like, you gotta cancel this person, you gotta cancel this person, you gotta cancel this person because they follow that person. And it's like, what the hell, guys? Aren't you exhausted?
I will say, Charlie Sheen never officially got canceled. He just got kicked off that show and then got that FX show, Anger Management.
That's true.
Which, I don't know, ran for like a couple... It had a decent run, right? Didn't have a...
It has enough to be in syndication.
Yeah, I think they like block recorded or filmed a ton of episodes and then they just peppered them out through the years.
Yeah.
They had the big dump truck of cash pulled up in front of Charlie Sheen's house and just dropped it off and was like, do the show for us. We only have the last season of Nip Tuck or whatever was going on at the time. I don't know. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't have Feud yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have that one hot season of Feud. And then they promised us, like, all these other hot seasons. And I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Princess Di drama.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's because Olivia de Havilland sued Ryan Murphy, and now he's just afraid.
Yeah, he's afraid.
He's got to make sure everybody's dead first. Like, that's why he did Hollywood. If you think about it, anybody he named was dead. Like, and the ones who were real are all dead. Like Olivia's co-star Hattie. Like, I'm telling you, Olivia de Havilland is gonna like live to see Ryan Murphy die. That's where we're at now. She's going to try and outlive Ryan Murphy, even though she's like 102, almost 103. Actually, by the time this is released, she'll be 103.
I know. Fingers crossed we don't lose her by the time this episode comes out, because I'm about to cut this whole segment out.
Team Olivia.
Fingers crossed. We're pulling for you, Olivia de Havilland, you and your Swiss chalet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sending faxes to CNN and Fox News and MSNBC.
I still love you. You're like, oh, she'll never know about this. Nobody's ever going to tell you. I'm like, she's going to know. And she's not going to be happy.
Maybe this will be the year that she finally learns about email. All right. You ready for CBS 9 o'clock? We already kind of teased it.
Yeah, it was on at 9 o'clock. This is probably what I was watching.
Sybil. You mentioned it a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Sybil. I think we're like, it's probably season 3-ish of Sybil, right? Probably 2 or 3, maybe?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, we're in a good run. Sybil and Marianne are up to no good.
Yes.
Getting themselves in all these shenanigans, involved in their exes.
Well, Sybil's exes.
I'm excited about 9:30. I've never seen the show. I've never heard of it, but I saw the stars of the series, and I am just mad at myself that I have no idea what this is. Have you ever heard of a show called George and Leo?
Yes, and I knew exactly what you were going to say. George and Leo. It's Judd Hirsch, Bob Newhart, Jason Bateman, and someone else.
Well, that's enough for me right there. Sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
That is like...
How is this not still a thing? How is this not in Netflix right now? We're like talking about this all these years later. I don't know.
It only got 1 season. I've only I found like a Thanksgiving episode on YouTube.
We'll have to check it out.
Because you know me, and like I get weird, and I like have to track to like random sitcom Thanksgiving episodes. Like it might be the only episode of a sitcom I see is like a Halloween, a Thanksgiving, or a Christmas episode.
Those are the ones that people save for some reason. Those are the ones that people record on VHS and they held on to. Probably because they set their VCR to record like Charlie Brown that night or something, and it just carried over. The VCR didn't shut off, and they just have the tape in their attic.
There's some John Goodman series he did for Fox called Normal Ohio, where he was like a gay guy who came out late in life. And the only episode I've seen is like a Thanksgiving episode.
I love it. I stand. So if anyone has George and Leo...
Same with like Norm Macdonald had a Fox sitcom. The only episode I've seen is the Thanksgiving episode. It's really bad quality on YouTube, but like it's kind of become a tradition for me to go watch it before Thanksgiving.
Well, can't wait. Can't wait to talk about it this holiday season. All right. You ready for CBS 10 o'clock?
Yes. What was on at 10?
I think we've talked about this before, but I don't remember anything about it. Brooklyn South?
I don't even recognize the title.
This was a police drama. It starred John Tenney, who's, I looked him up. He's been in episodes of Scandal, The Closer, True Detective, and The Romanoffs. That's, I don't know, I still haven't placed him now in my head. And that's about as far as digging as I went. I was like, good enough. I saw it was on Fox this night, and I was excited about it. Any hot guesses?
Melrose Place.
No, it's a special. There's a special on tonight.
Oh.
You ready? So you sitting down?
Yeah, because shouldn't we be deep in Mondays Are a Bitch?
Normally, yes, but I'm guessing that they took the night off. They gave Amanda and Friends the night off, and they rolled in the 1997 Billboard Music Awards. Ooga.
Ooh, fancy.
All right, you want to know who were the hot winners of the night? You ready? Any guesses? Any hot guesses?
Okay, it's 1997. Okay, Spice Girls.
You got it. Best New Artist, Spice Girls. They also won for their album Spice, I think Best Album of the Year. But do you want to know what the Billboard Hot Single of the Year was? The winner? Not the Spice Girls. I think 1997. It was a big year for this artist. He redid an old song, an old classic.
Oh.
He re-recorded it.
Is it Eric Clapton?
To honor his dear friend. Think, where were you in 1997? Go back in time, Kat Halstead.
I'm trying, and the 90s are kind of a little bit of a blur music-wise.
Can I paint the picture for you? Can I paint the scene Bob Ross style?
Yes, please paint the picture for me.
All right, it's the summer of 97. You're at home. You're drinking your Fresca or your High C Ecto Cooler, whatever you were drinking in the 90s, late 90s.
Okay, first of all, out of those two, I'm drinking Ecto Cooler, but let's be real, he's probably drinking Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, you're a Coke gal. You're a Coke head. It's summer. You woke up one night, you probably woke up one night because you slept during the day and stayed up all night, and you saw the horrible news in August of 1997 of the passing of our dear friend, Lady Di.
That was awful.
Then a few days later, our boy EJ.
Oh.
Our boy EJ.
Candle in the Wind.
Oh, yeah. Not just Candle in the Wind, but Candle in the Wind, 97.
Yes.
You have to throw it in the 97. Yeah, won the best song of the year, Ooga. And hold on. Who do you think hosted this year? Who do you think hosted the 97 Billboard Music Awards? You'll never guess this. But it's someone who is relevant. I would say he's still relevant today. You still hear from him. He's still around. He's still in the midst. He had a few TV series over the years. He's appeared in many of your favorite television series, many of your favorite movies, maybe many of your least favorite movies as well.
Christian Slater?
David Spade.
Oh, David Spade. I love David Spade. I do. I love David Spade.
Friend of the show, ?
I even watched that awful movie he did on Netflix.
Joe Dirt 2. No, that was Crackle.
No, it's The Wrong Missy or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry, Wrong Missy. Sorry, I forgot all about you. All right. You ready for probably the hottest block of television right now? NBC, The Peacock. The Peacock is strutting its feathers tonight. Any guesses? These are like all staples of our lives.
Hold on. Can I guess a couple of titles?
Yes.
Suddenly Susan.
Ding!
Caroline in the City.
Ding!
Veronica's Closet. I know I'm in the right era. Those were the first three that came to mind.
The other two are Mad About You
Oh!
Think David Duchovny's wife.
Oh, The Naked Truth.
Oh yeah. And then capping that off, the nightcap was Dateline, a hot episode of Dateline. I don't know, whatever the latest scandal was.
Okay, so like, what was this lineup looking like? Because I kind of think I know what I was watching.
So this is the order. It was Suddenly Susan, Mad About You, Caroline, and then The Naked Truth, and then Dateline. So that was the order of events that night.
So I was probably watching this whole night. This is why I wasn't watching Buffy.
Okay, hold on. I have a question for you. If you had to choose between Sybil and Caroline, where would you go? There were opposing forces tonight.
I'm gonna say I think I watched Sybil live, and I recorded Caroline in the City.
Okay, that would have been my pick too. I would have gone to Sybil first.
Because I think I would watch Sybil, then I would watch Caroline, I wouldn't watch The Naked Truth, and then I would watch Dateline.
I remember seeing The Naked Truth, but I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about it. What was the premise?
Yeah, same. Like, I just remember she always wore short skirts.
Yeah.
I feel like Holland Taylor was on it.
Probably.
And, like, it always seemed like they were restarting it in some way.
Yeah, it was always getting a revamp every, 3 months. They hired and fired. And
so I was just like, I don't care.
That's just how they kind of felt. They wanted it to work. They really tried. Maybe they threw, Ross on an episode. Or had, Taya Leone goes to Central Park, maybe. But they just couldn't get it to work.
Definitely not.
Maybe they, had her bump into Kramer on the streets. Who knows? Never worked. Maybe they had her swing by the Dateline office. Maybe she had to, I don't know, go pick up a package. She ran into Jane Polly or something. I don't know. Who knows? Obviously, the WB had Seventh Heaven and Buffy, but I got some special mentions. We get some out of prime time special mentions. You're gonna be excited about this. You're gonna be excited.
Okay.
During the day, this is an era where we had Lisa Gibbons show, Port Charles.
Oh, my poor Charles.
Sunset Beach.
Sunset Beach, the reason we're best friends.
Another World.
Yes, my baby, my first soap opera.
Sweet Valley High.
Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley,
And
Sweet Valley High.
Sweet Valley High's Canadian cousin, Breaker High. Remember that one?
Vaguely, I think I dropped it on that one once in a while, because I remember we would get Sweet Valley High on a Saturday afternoon. And then, Breaker High would be on, after it or something.
Yeah, this had Ryan Gosling on it, and I don't know, maybe it was just... I feel like Ryan Gosling was on a lot of weird Canadian teen coms.
Because he got his start on, the Mickey Mouse Club with Justin and Brittany and Christina and all them. And then, Mickey Mouse Club ended, so, while Justin's off getting into a boy band and Brittany's off becoming a pop star, he was doing these weird Canadian teen dramas.
Yeah, he was getting in all these Canadian cousins of our dear shows like Saved by the Bell and Sweet Valley High and the likes, California Dreams. But shout out to Breaker High. I think it lasted a whole season. We got one hot year of Ryan Gosling being Ryan Gosling in the late 90s, whatever he did back then. Tell us what you're up to. Tweet us, call us at Fred Podcast. All right.
Ooh.
That's that day in television. On a scale out of 1 out of 5 George and Leos, how many George and Leos would you give that night?
That's this is a lit freaking night. This is actually for once Patrick's right. This is a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was whoa. I want to go back just to this day and just just live it. See what commercials were on back then.
Oh my god, could you imagine if we could go back in time and just watch our day and be they will never understand where they're going to end up.
Oh yeah, just be an invisible force and just watching over yourself.
Yeah.
Watching me.
Sitting there watching you and me chat with each other on AOL and then being you guys don't realize this, but in 20 years you will still be friends.
I probably sent you I was going to call it a DM, but an instant message at 10:01 p.m. telling you that John Ritter was just on an episode of Buffy, and you're sorry, I was watching, I was catching up on Caroline after I watched Sybil. I'm watching the VHS right now.
Yeah.
Currently fast-forwarded through the commercials.
Yeah, because I would probably just be logging off around 10.
Yeah, for the night. Getting ready for school.
Well, because my dad would go to bed because the computer is in my dad's room.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Because you always had to dip out early, and I'm I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to be up all night on a school night. I have to be quiet.
Yeah.
And then, occasionally you would get the boot off the internet, and you'd have to redial it. And I'm oh fuck, the modem's going to be really loud. It's going to wake up the whole house.
Exactly. So yeah, because my dad would have to go to bed, And so I'd have to go downstairs. But I mean, I'd still be up because I don't sleep. I do not sleep like a normal human being. Even then, I did not sleep like a normal human being. There were many nights where I just stayed up reading like ridiculous teen YA novels from back in the day. Like, I remember in 6th grade, I probably read We Hate Everything But Boys like 3 times.
Digging into Lois Duncan's catalog.
Oh my god, yeah, totally. Or Sweet Valley books, or whatever I had on hand.
Oh yeah. All right. Are you ready to slay some vamps? You ready for some teen horror / comedy / drama / metaphors of reality?
Sure, this is a weird episode. Like, I don't know what I thought I was getting into. Like,
You had to have known. I mean, I've been like talking about this episode for years.
I guess it just didn't penetrate my brain. Like, I was kind of like, okay. I remember you talking about John Ritter being on an episode, and I definitely did not, like, fully embrace what that meant. Like, what happened?
You thought he was just going to come on and fall over a sofa or something or get in some wacky hijinks?
No, like, I knew because this is definitely in the period where he was playing darker roles.
Oh, yeah, he was maybe doing some, like, TV movies or something.
Yeah, because this is around the time he was doing more TV movies, because he did a bunch in this era. And he wasn't always, like, the nice guy.
He had nothing major, I think, in the pipeline.
But he was constantly working.
Yeah, I mean, but he didn't have it. It wasn't like you, like, open up TV Guide and it was like, this fall, John Ritter in. And whatever he was up to at the time. No, like, we're kind of beyond that.
Because, like, this is after his show with Marky Post.
Hearts of Fire.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hearts of Fire. Shout out to Marky Post, friend of the show, Collis. Tell us what it's like to have a cool hairstyle.
Then, so yeah, like, he's kind of in this place where he's had, like, 4 sitcoms behind him. He's had the Problem Child movies, you know? He's getting, like, a little darker with, like, the roles he is doing. He's doing, like, dramatic made-for-TV movies.
All right, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring up his IMDb. Let's do, like, a 95 to 98 John Ritter run right now. You ready for it?
Okay. Hit me with it.
All right, so Hearts of Fire ended in 1995.
Okay.
He left. The show got canceled, probably. I don't know what happened to it. He went on with his life. And then he got casted in the 1996 made-for-TV movie, Unforgivable.
Okay.
So that's probably the start of it. Then he was in Sling Blade. Oh yeah, Sling Blade.
Okay.
He had an uncredited role in a TV movie called For Hope.
Okay.
He was in another movie called, a TV movie called The Child's Wish in 1997.
Okay.
Another TV movie that same year called Dead Man's Gun. Oh yeah, okay.
Alrighty.
He was in something called A Gun, a Car, a Blonde. Don't know what that is. Sounds exciting. Hold on. And then he was only on an episode. He was on an episode of a TV show called Over the Top in 97.
Okay.
Then he landed this role in Buffy as Ted Buchanan. And Bride of Chucky? What?
What?
Bride of Chucky. He played Chief Warren Kincaid.
Oh my god.
And hold on. I totally forgot about this, but it makes sense. I remember this. 2 episodes of Ally McBeal.
Okay, yeah.
And then a TV movie called Dead Husband.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so this is like dark era, John Ritter.
Yeah.
Had a lot of this until he finally came back in 8 Simple Rules, is what it's called, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to 8 Simple Rules.
Which also had our boy David Spade.
Oh, yeah. Callback.
Call back to like 10 minutes ago.
Our pal Joss Whedon, he was working on the 2nd season of Buffy. He wanted to do a dark episode, which didn't really have, he's like, I'm going to put the vampires on hold. This is just following a heavy 2-part episode involving Buffy battling, hired assassins that Spike and Drusilla hired to go after her because they couldn't handle her on their own.
Played by like Bianca Lawson, who like seriously doesn't age.
Well, Bianca Lawson was the other Slayer.
Yeah.
She was, because Buffy dies.
I started watching that episode thinking, I started watching the second half of that thinking that was like the episode number we were supposed to watch. And I was like, this doesn't seem right after like a few minutes. And I went back, checked my notes. I'm like, oh, it's the next episode I'm supposed to watch.
So Buffy needs a week off from Chaos. So they're like, hey, let's just do an episode where Buffy's mom, Joyce, gets a boyfriend. We have to talk about Buffy's mom. She has the most 1997 California job. Like an art gallery owner, I think, is what her job is.
I feel like that's... oddly seems like a very go-to TV mom job.
Yeah, like she's a single mom. Her and Buffy, Mr. Buffy, got divorced prior to the series.
Yes.
And he's out of the picture. I think the dad's in like one episode, maybe. I think he appears in one episode.
I don't know. Dad's obviously off dealing with Dawn or whatever.
Yeah, well,
or does she not exist?
Dawn technically doesn't exist. The druid-like creatures were protecting Dawn from Glory, which was some godlike creature who wanted to use Dawn to destroy the world. And the druids hid Dawn with the Slayer because they knew the Slayer would be able to protect her. So they created her and warped everyone's minds and just made it seem like Dawn was always there. So that's Dawn.
Oh.
And I have a lot of thoughts on Dawn.
Another former All My Children actress.
Oh yeah.
Because she played Lily early on. Actually, when she was playing Lily, Sarah Michelle Gellar was on All My Children.
Oh, it's did they have scenes together?
No, probably not. I can't think of any reason Lily and Kendall would have interacted at that time.
Well, Lily was probably 7 or 6 years old, right?
Yeah, she was, because she was Laurel's daughter who was autistic, and Laurel had her off at a special school.
Okay.
And they would bring her in once in a while, not very often. For holidays, she'd get pulled out. But then Laurel married Jackson, and then Laurel died, and Jackson had adopted Laurel. And so then Lily came back later as a teen, played by Levin Ramin, something like that. One of the District 1 Hunger Games players.
Okay. District 1.
And actually, the face of Jessica and Elizabeth on the update Sweet Valley Highs.
Oh, on the cover art?
On the covers, yeah.
Oh, because they use real people now. It's not these acrylic drawings.
Yeah, they were using real people.
I love it.
Yeah. So then Jackson and Lily were stepsisters.
Okay.
Or no, not Jackson. Kendall and Lily were stepsisters, but by then Kendall was played by a different actress and Lily was played by a different actress.
I love the mythology behind this of how...
That just there's pieces that came together while I was talking.
It was...
Holy crap.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. All right. So Joyce, she's just a single mom. She lives in a really nice house in some LA adjacent community. I think it's south of LA, I think. I think it's in between San Diego and LA, Sunnydale. It's near a desert. I just remember there being a desert in one episode. And she runs a gallery. I guess she curates art and sells it to the highest bidder. I don't know. I feel we never really get into the inner workings of her job. I've always wanted to know though. I'm always I wonder what she does on a day-to-day basis. I need to know.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Have you ever actually gone to an art gallery?
I want to say yes, but it's one of those things that you thought you've actually gone to, but maybe you haven't. I don't think I have.
Okay, because I've gone to lots of art galleries.
What happens at an art gallery? Do you walk in and just say, I want that? Or do you just, look at stuff? What do you do?
Okay, that's cute that you think I actually have money to afford something in an art gallery.
I'll take it.
But, when I lived...
Wrap it up.
When I lived in Durango, there were a ton of art galleries downtown. And, they would have, shows, and you could go in and you could get free wine and cheese.
I know, I've seen the art gallery episode of The Office, so I feel like I know this. You know what, maybe that's why I thought I've been to an art gallery.
That's probably why you thought you've been. That's basically, they're just, fancy, spaces that host, maybe 10 pieces of art, depending on the size.
I'm going to throw this out there. It comes up a lot in television, but I've never met anyone who owns an art gallery or worked at an art gallery or, I don't know. It's wild to me. The whole concept of an art gallery is wild to me. And that Buffy's mom works at one or runs, she owns it. It's her. It's her business. And you know what?
Yeah.
She needs an IT guy, so she hires this outsider played by John Ritter named Ted, who comes in, he hooks it up and gets it modernized, maybe gets her a cable modem or something, or whatever, dial up. Listen,
he got her Windows 97 running.
Yeah, he got her a cash register that wasn't old-timey. It actually had a LCD screen probably. Mm-hmm. Got her into the modern age. And yeah, because she had to do all these hot deals with her clients, her rich Sunnydale clients. All right. Sunnydale is a community that is being, like, the citizens are dying by vampires and demons and other giant bugs and stuff. But yet people are flocking there to buy art.
And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to notice, like, ever.
And the people who do notice, they die very quickly, shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
Or they get, like, roped up into Buffy's gang.
Yeah.
They become an integral member of the gang.
Yeah, so...
Like, do you feel like there's, like, guys flying in from, like, Italy to go to Sunnydale to buy art?
Okay, so this is the way I'm picturing. This is the way I think it works. I could be 100% wrong. I'm thinking it's the kind of thing where the interior designer who has, like, the rich client who's looking for a unique piece drops in on, like, a Thursday morning. Is like, okay, Joyce, I need a piece for this room. This is what the room looks like, what it's going to look like. She shows her, like, the concept art. And Joyce is like, I've got a piece like that. Follow me. That'll fit. Takes her to, like, around, like, the maze of white walls or whatever. And it's, like, this photograph in black and white with, like, one pop of color of, like, a blue seashell or something.
She's got, like, an Andy Warhol original somewhere tacked on the wall.
No, it's probably like local artists is probably what it is. It's like local.
You think Seth Green's character had some work there? I feel like he was an artist on the show for some reason. I feel like he drew.
I don't even remember, like, if I watched the Seth Green episodes.
I don't even think we ever get a scene at Joyce's gallery. Like, Twitter, if you're a Buffy stan and you've seen an episode of Joyce's gallery, can you, like, screen cap and send it to us? Tweet us at Very Podcast, because I just, like, want to see a picture of it. Because I'm, like, what I have in my mind is probably not what it looked like.
Like, I'm just thinking about, like, the galleries, like, I had around when I lived in Durango, because there's a ton of galleries in downtown Durango, but there's a ton of restaurants. It's a tourist area, too.
Okay.
So I don't feel like Sunnyvale or whatever is like
Sunnydale.
Yeah, like
it's literally on a Hellmouth. It's like literally on a Hellmouth.
I feel like it's not like a tourist trap kind of place.
I mean, maybe if you want to go see a giant praying mantis, you can go there for that. Like, you know, if you're into like paranormal stuff, you know, maybe you go there. I feel like you know what? Modern day me and Jillian Buck would probably go to Sunnydale to, like, check it out, just see, like, all the spookiness of it. But I don't know. I don't see, like, rich art gathering folk, you know, flying there to.
Oh my God! I'm gonna send you the link to a book I read forever ago, which I think you and Jill would like.
I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued.
It's like this YA book about this girl whose family lives in the town of Hell, Michigan, and, like, her best friend goes missing, and then she finds out there are, like, demons and spirits, and it's ridiculous and wild.
I love it.
I will see if I can track down that link, because I still have the book on my Kindle, so I should be able to track it down. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it sounds like totally the kind of thing you and Jill would like.
We'll add it to the show notes when you figure it out. We'll add it to the show notes. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so Joyce and Ted, they link up at the gallery, and I guess, like, apparently they've been dating for a while. They've been dating for, like, a few weeks.
Yeah, they've been dating, like, I'm gonna say it's probably, like, a couple of dates. Like, it's to the point where it's starting to get serious. Joyce invites him into the house to kind of, like, get him on her turf, see, like, how that feels. Poor Buffy, and her friends are coming back from, like, a movie or whatever.
No, they're hunting. They're out hunting.
Oh, they're out hunting.
They're, like, looking for vampires. That's what they do. They don't got time to go to the movies.
Sorry, like, my brain totally read this as, like, they were coming back from a movie.
No, like, there's a whole scene of them, like, walking around talking about how it's been quiet, because this is, like, post that whole, the assassins, like, Drusilla's assassins came into town.
Yeah.
And they all scattered. And they're just walking around, and, like, Buffy's bored. Like, she's, like, forgot what it was like to be a normal teen, and she's going, like, oh, fuck, like, we're gonna have to go to Blockbuster now and run a movie, because I don't know what to do. There's no monsters anywhere.
Yeah, so they're, like, coming home, and they're obviously getting home, like, way earlier than Joyce was expecting. Like, Joyce is obviously used to Buffy just being out at, like, all hours, and not seeming to care.
Yeah, like, well, actually, like, normally, like, Buffy goes to her room, and then she just climbs out the window and is, like, out all night hunting. And Joyce has no idea. She's, like, in her bedroom watching, I don't know, Knots Landing or something.
No, Knots Landing isn't on at this point, honey.
Maybe the Knots Landing made-for-TV movie that came out. Maybe the reunion movie was airing.
No, Joyce is obviously up in her room watching Sybil.
Yeah, she's watching everything that you watched this night.
Yes.
No. Hold on. No, Joyce is like, she's got the old timey ledger book, and she's like figuring out crunching numbers, figuring out all these like hot art deals, and she's trying to like acquire pieces and stuff, and she's making phone calls.
Yeah.
That's what Joyce is doing. She's calling up her like art dealer in Germany, trying to get this thing shipped to Sunnydale, trying to figure out the costs.
So, yeah. Buffy and like her two friends, Willow and Xander, they walk into the kitchen and they catch the mom making out with this random guy.
Ted's doing that thing where he's got her like pressed against the island in the middle of the kitchen. Got Joyce pressed against the island. He's like caressing her and like rubbing her butt and stuff. And like I think Joyce like knocks over a wine glass. I think that's what scares Buffy because she thinks someone like broke in the house and is trying to kill her mom.
Yeah, like they're fooling around in the kitchen, which in the right context can be really hot.
Oh yeah.
But when it's like your mom and some guy you don't know, and you're like a 16, 17-year-old girl, you're like, what the fuck?
When it's your mom and dark John Ritter,
yeah,
you're like, what the fuck? Who is wearing I want to point out that John Ritter, or Ted, whatever, he wears the same outfit throughout the whole episode.
Yeah.
It never changes. Like, Joyce never picks up on that.
No, of course not.
Literally the same thing that he wears to work, because we see a hot office scene of Ted at his office.
Which, oh my god, that's a whole other world.
It's just like the khaki pants and the blue vertical stripes shirt.
Yeah, it's just like this basic 90s casual, office casual look.
It's kind of, you know what? It's kind of like what Al Bundy wears in every episode of Married Children.
Oh my god, yes.
Very similar. It's like Al Bundy. Instead of a shoe salesman, he's a, I don't know, he sells computers.
He's a computer software salesman.
That's right. He sells expensive computer software.
So, Buffy's like disturbed because that's awkward as hell.
Yeah, I mean...
It just is.
Her parents are kind of like freshly divorced.
Yeah.
She's obviously been going through turmoil like the last year and a half. She's been battling demons, literally.
Yeah.
And now she has to deal with her mom and this new boyfriend who apparently has been around for months, but Buffy never noticed.
Or Buffy was never told. Like, Joyce kept it secret. Joyce is like, oh, I just have to work late at the gallery. And Buffy's like, oh, okay.
But you know what? On another side of the thing, too, like, Buffy's out patrolling at night, so... You know, she would never notice Ted, like...
True.
Like, you know what? Ted was probably sneaking in the window as Buffy was, like, sneaking out, like, on opposite sides of the house. That's probably what was happening.
Yeah, probably.
Tiptoeing through the front doors, like, Buffy's, like, throwing her stake out the window first and then, like, climbing down the side. She's got that little, like, lattice. The little vine.
Because, there's always a way to climb out the window for a teenager on TV.
Especially getting a second floor. I'm going to throw this out there. Like, my bedroom was on a second floor. It wasn't that high off the ground, but I was petrified to even, like, look out the window. I was like, oh, God, I'm going to die.
Okay, can I be honest? Like, my bedroom at the house in New Jersey was on the first floor, the front of the house. I had a window that, like, if I did, I probably could have snuck out. But I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Like, now, like, looking back, like, shit, I could have gone on these wild adventures. New Jersey adventures.
I could have done, like, all this And actually, like, when we moved to Colorado, we lived in an apartment. We were on the first floor. My bedroom window, I could have just opened it and, like, gone out.
Or you probably could have just realized you could have just walked out the front door and no one would ever notice.
I mean, my brother might have, like, caught me, like, going out the window, but...
Oh, he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kat?
Be like, Kate, what are you doing? I'm gonna go tell Dad.
Yeah, but then you're like, no, don't tell Dad. I'll buy you some popcorn from Blockbuster. And he's like, okay.
But there was, like, also, like, where there was nothing around where I lived in Colorado when we moved there.
You didn't want to go breaking? You didn't want to go check out the hot Durango art scene?
No, it wasn't Durango that I lived in, you goof.
I don't know. I can't. I have a hard time keeping up.
Durango is college.
I have a hard time keeping up with, like, the Colorado timeline.
The Colorado timeline is, like, all over the place.
I know. I feel like it's just like a little, like a chart of you just going up and down, sideways across the state.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, in my mind, you just are, like, in the center of the state, like, or Denver. Like, I just think like Denver, and I'm like, oh, that's Kat Olsen. That's
not even. Oh my god. I'm gonna, like, get a map of Colorado, and I'm gonna pinpoint all the different places I lived.
Can we do a YouTube? Can we have it be a hot YouTube video? Like, keeping up with Kat or whatever your getting Catty, whatever your YouTube series is called.
We'll see.
All right. So, yeah, Buffy's shook that her mom has a boyfriend, but guess what? He cooks. He's like a baker. He's a cook. He's a chef. He's just an all-around great guy.
He, like, takes Buffy and her two friends and Joyce mini golfing, like...
Yeah, Xander and Willow are super into him. They're like, huh? Like, Buffy immediately is just, like, sourpuss face.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Is really normal teenage reaction.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because, all right, so, at one point, your dad started dating again.
Yeah.
Was it when you were still a teen? Was it post-teen? Was it college years? Like,
yeah, I was still a teen. So, like, he dated one woman that we never met. But I remember we would, like, babysit her, like, German Shepherd for, like, weeks on end.
Did she exist?
Like, she had to, like, I don't know. Like, she worked at, like, one of the places my dad did, like, software work for.
This sounds like the episode that we're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so my dad back then was doing, like, freelance computer stuff, like, maintaining databases and stuff. Like, that's what my dad did, was, like, he maintained databases and software and stuff like that. So, like, he dated one woman. We never met her.
But you met her dog.
We kind of, like, knew he was dating someone, but we, like, it never got to the point where he wanted us to meet her.
Like, so he went to her house kind of thing?
Yeah, like, they would go, like, there's never, you're gonna meet my kids. So then, they broke up. And then my dad, I remember my senior year of high school, my dad had, like, a blind date right around Valentine's Day, and it was Haven.
Oh.
Who would become my stepmom.
Oh.
And they dated for a little while, and a little while later, like, I remember I was such a bitch. I remember he brought her over to introduce her to us, and I remember I was laying on one of the couches. I was watching, like, 10 Things I Hate About You and MTV, because, like, NSYNC was on. And I was just like, hi.
Oh, I love it. I love this story.
Like, if I said more than one word to her, that's it. But, like...
Oh, because she was trying to get that in. She was, like, trying to show you that she cares.
Yeah. But, like, even though I was a complete bitch to her, she, like, still helped my dad set up my graduation party for high school. Like, to be fair, if she hadn't, my dad would have done, like, nothing. Like, I didn't get senior pictures taken. Like, I didn't get, like, any of those, like... high school milestones like a mother would have pushed for, because my dad's like, do you really need that? Do you really need a class ring? Do you really need special pictures?
Yeah. Do you need the cap and gown? You don't need that. Well, just like they could just mail you the diploma.
Yeah, like you
don't need to go to college.
Do you really want to go to college out of state? I'm like, yes. I didn't, but yeah.
So when did you have like the aha moment that, like, you know what, I like Haven?
I don't know.
Took a while. You know, maybe she
So yeah, it's like, okay, so like they got engaged maybe 7-8 months after dating. And then, like, they were engaged for a while. They were engaged for a good 6 or so months because they wanted to buy a house in, like, some small town because they thought Boulder was getting too big, too busy.
Too many art galleries in town.
Just too many damn Californians in Texas. And so, like, they get a house, they get married, and, like, they just really, like, they got married by just signing the paperwork and having their witnesses sign it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well, I guess the way I look at it is, it's not like you were Veda Sultanfuss's age. You were, like, an adult at this point. So, like, it's like you didn't have to call her mom. It's just, like, you know, I can tolerate you, whatever. I can deal with you. Deal with it, duck gift.
Like, I think I have a pretty decent relationship with her, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've lived with her quite a bit at this point.
Yeah, it's not like she was there when you had your, like, first bra and stuff, so.
Oh, God, no.
You know, she missed the milestone, so, you know, she just kind of has to make do as best as she can.
Like, if I need to talk about something or I need something, I know I can go to her.
Yeah, she can help you with your taxes and stuff.
So.
Adult things.
I do my own taxes, man.
Well, I don't know, if you had a question, like, you know, your calculator broke. You know, cat math, you're enough for cat math.
Okay. My math is not that bad.
Insert clips of Kat try to do math from every episode of every social podcast ever.
Shut up. Listen, okay, to be fair, there's a reason I'm in the position I am at work and not another position.
Because of numbers?
Because I was like, I'm not comfortable with the math.
They're like, if I can't use a basic, like, 10-digit calculator, then count me out. If there's a square root button, count me out.
It wasn't even like that. I was just like, nope, I'm not comfortable with this.
You're going back to an abacus, moving little beads across an abacus. That's what Kat wants. That's Kat math. All right.
I just don't want to do math. That's the only thing.
All right. So Buffy.
Yeah, Buffy.
She's not getting along with Ted. She wants Ted to be an actual monster. Like she literally wants Ted to be a monster. She's like, can he just be a fucking demon? Can he just be like a giant bug or a witch or... That's
what I thought he was. Like, I kept thinking he was going to turn out to be some, like, evil hellmouth demon.
Helgrimith.
But then, like, okay, again, like, he's really aggressive with Buffy. Like, he is getting into that, like, creepy stepdad mode before, like, he enjoys her even engaged, though he's already got the wedding planned.
He's got the ring in his back pocket. He's just waiting for the right moment. Waiting to pop that question.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for, like, I don't know, the date night near a fountain or something. Someplace romantic. Some nice romantic Sunnydale fountain.
You know, Buffy's, like, upset. She's got all this anger in her. And, like, one night she and Giles are out and they're hunting and she gets a demon. And she's, like, beating the crap out of it. And he's like, stake him. Like, he's getting, like, frustrated because she's still beating the crap out of this guy. She's just, like, beating the hell out of him. And, like, then finally she does the stake. And he's like, finally? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, he's just not here for her teenage angst.
Giles literally, like, sits down on a bench. He's like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to stake him. But I want to point out, there's a funny part, though.
Checking his watch, like, I need to get home to watch Sybil. Come on, Buffy.
Me and Jenny Calendar are going to watch Sybil, and then George and Leo. There's a point, though, when Buffy's fighting that vampire, there just happens to be one of those, like, metal aluminum tin trash cans nearby, and she picks up, like, the top, and she beats the fuck out of the vampire with the top of the trash can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. I don't know why, but I just felt like that was just the perfect added touch. And I want to point out that I really enjoy the fight scenes in Buffy the Vampire Slayer for some reason. I just always loved them. They're always my favorite part. Whenever Buffy got to fight a vampire or a demon, they're just for like a WB show. They were just very, I don't know, very high techy, like in a way, just like...
Yeah, I was really impressed with the fight scenes. Like, I was expecting there to be, like, more. Like, I think in my head, Buffy was just, like, maybe a scene or two at the high school and then just a lot of fighting the demons. And maybe a little bit of making out with Angel.
They do a really good balance, though. I really feel like Buffy it balanced, like, various genres in one very good. Because, you know, you'd have episodes that were, like, straight-up comedies. You'd have episodes that were very serious, and then you just have these crazy out there episodes. But they always, like, found a perfect way just to pull in all these elements.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it was a show that captured the attention of a lot of people. You got, like, you know, like the soapy audience would be into it for the teen drama. You'd have, like, the sci-fi fans be into it for that. And
yeah.
even adults, like, you know, even the adults, you got, like, cool, like, Joyce, Dayton, Ted storylines and art gallery plot lines that the adults can enjoy.
I feel like Buffy has a very wide audience, and there are definitely times you will be shocked to find somebody to be a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan.
Yeah, and when she finally graduates high school, they do one college season, and they just have, like, she drops out of college. She's like, there's no point in me going to college. I'm a Slayer. Like, I'm just gonna focus full time on vanquishing demons and gods.
But does that pay the bills, Buffy? Does that pay the bills?
I think Giles at one point runs a magic shop, so I think, like, he funds her. And when Joyce eventually dies, I think she just gets the house, so she has a place to live.
Okay. It's one of those.
I mean, they never really explain the dynamics, I think, of the... Oh, wait, hold on, though. There was one season, though, where Buffy works at Double Meat Palace, which is the fast food restaurant, and then it turns out that they're, like, serving...
Wait, I'm sorry, Double Meat Palace?
Yes, it's the local fast food joint, like the local burger joint.
Okay.
And then it turns out that they're, like, serving, like, human meat.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I fucking love this show.
Oh my god.
You can't make this stuff up.
I think I definitely need to put this on my list as something to attempt to watch again.
It ebbs and flows. Like, the first season's kind of hit or miss, but season 2 is really good. There's a good balance of mythology and Monster of the Week episodes. Season 3 is pretty good. It kind of tapers off at season 4, but near the end, it has a good, like, last wrap around town.
I mean, I am in the middle of a Heart of Dixie rewatch on Netflix. Because That was just because I was like, I have no idea what to watch tonight. I'm just going to watch some Heart of Dixie and wait for my sleeping pill to kick in. 6 episodes later.
Your sleeping pill has come and gone, and you pop in another one.
It has finally started to kick in. I swear to God, like, this batch is like the slowest acting sleeping pills ever.
No, you're just like super tolerant. That's what it is. Buffy spends a good like 20, 30 minutes like just dealing with Ted. Ted just kind of secretly comes up to her and threatens to slap her, threatens her life.
Every like creepy, abusive stepfather cliche.
Finally, at one point, he actually smacks her across the face, and she's like, oh, fuck, I've been waiting for you to do this. And she beats the fuck out of him, right in front of Joyce. Like, Joyce comes in the room, and she's like, Buffy, what are you doing?
Like, Buffy? Just no mercy, because it's like, you hit me? Oh, fuck no, bitch.
Yeah.
You didn't think I was going to fight back? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, and then she pushes him down the stairs. He, like, tumbles down the stairs, John Ritter, like, tripping over a couch tile.
Yeah.
And he, like, we see his neck snap at the bottom of the step, and Joyce goes down, she, like, checks his pulse, and she's like, oh my God, you killed my boyfriend! And Buffy has it, like, oh fuck, like, I killed a human look on her face.
Yeah.
And we get this, like, the next 10 minutes were just, like, dark and dreary. It's now Buffy dealing with the police, and I just have to say, like, the detective is a fucking asshole in this episode.
A huge asshole.
Huge asshole. So, like, you know, she's explaining, like, you know, like, I was in my bedroom, like, reading my diary or something, and he came in and he smacked me around.
Yeah, like, I came into my bedroom and he was reading my diary, and I was like, oh, hell no, and he like, slapped me, and then I fought back.
And the cop, like, rolls his eyes, and he's like, well, he doesn't look like he smacked you that hard, because you don't have a bruise on your face. And Buffy's like, oh, like, no, you're not. We're not treading down this water, guy. We're not treading down this water. For one, I don't bruise easily.
Buffy's like, I don't bruise easily.
And 2, he fucking smacked me. This guy fucking smacked me. Like
he slapped me.
Why is that not a red flag? Why is that not a red flag? Why are they not looking into that any further?
Yeah.
Like the cops like don't look into Ted's personal life at all, like whatsoever. They just like drop the case. It's just like, all right, well, maybe we'll charge Buffy, maybe we won't. We'll just like wait a couple days, see how this pans out. You know, we got like 87 other missing people in Sunnydale to look into, so we're just gonna temporarily put this on the back burner. And can we just point out, like, the police in Sunnydale always sucked anyway? Like, they never noticed a pile of dead bodies piling up in their community.
But I mean, also, then she's also got, like, Willow and Xander's kind of like, oh, poor Ted, and Willow keeps going like, dude, shut up.
Well...
Shut up, Xander. You're an idiot.
So, throughout the episode, Ted's been baking cookies and other treats for Xander and Willow. And now that they no longer have this food source, they're starting to, like, wise up to the idea that maybe Buffy was not in the wrong.
Willow does first because Xander's still eating the cookies.
Oh, yeah, he still has, like, a pack left in his backpack.
Yeah, he still has a tin of cookies left, and Willow hasn't had some, but Xander keeps eating them. Even Cordelia's kind of looking at him like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, like, what the... I make out with you? What?
Like, why are we a thing? Like... Can we be real? Like, if Buffy was not a Slayer, she would not be friends with Willow or Xander.
Yeah, all right. Let's get into, like, Buffy history. So, when Buffy lived in L.A., I'm holding in my hand right here the official Buffy the Vampire Slayer comic book omnibus. So, Joss Whedon, he wrote the original movie, but Fox, like, meddled with the movie so much, it wasn't true to his vision. So, he took his original script, and he redid it as a comic book, and he kind of changed some stuff here and there to make it line up with the TV series. Yeah. So in the original, we'll say movie, just for clarity's sake, Buffy was like a popular girl. She was like a typical...
She was just your, like, typical Beverly Hills type.
I mean, her name is Buffy, for Christ's sakes. Like, Buffy. Yeah. Literally, Buffy. And... she was a cheerleader, she was popular, she had a lot of friends. She didn't hang out with Xander or Willow types. Yeah. She finds out one day that she's the Slayer. She has to, like, uproot her life, fight vampires, deal with all this shit. She burns down her fucking school's gym, like at a prom or something, some kind of dance. Yeah. So her mom's embarrassed. Like, her mom's hot LA art gallery is now under scrutiny by the local citizens. So she's like, oh, I gotta go move to Sunnydale now. Start over. Because you could in the 90s, you know. We didn't have social media, so we couldn't follow you as easily. he could just uproot and move somewhere else. So Buffy, she's beaten. She's torn. And when she gets to Sunnydale, I don't know, vampires follow her there, and she saves Xander and Willow's life, and they just become friends. And I don't know, they just have to deal with Cordelia for some reason. They just put up with her. They welcome her into the gang occasionally.
She just seems so weird there.
Cordelia eventually leaves the show, and she goes over to Angel, which I think is a superior series.
Yeah.
And her character blossoms into something more. So shout out to Charisma Carpenter for making something more out of our gal pal Cordelia Chase. Not just a girl who makes out with Xander, who's not a catch. I'm going to throw this out there. Xander, not a catch.
No. Not a cat.
I'm going to throw this out there. There was a time, 1997, where I thought Xander was cool. I was like, oh shit, Xander's cool. He's a cool guy. 20-something years later, I'm looking back, and I'm like, no. Not happening. Sorry, old me. If I can go back in time, I'd be like, Xander's not cool. Even Giles is stuttery and nerdy, but he's cool. Giles is cool in a way, in an old creepy man kind of way.
I mean, he's not Urkel levels of bad, but yeah,
he's close. He's a few blocks away from being Urkel. Send him to Chicago, have him live next to Laura Winslow, and then he's Urkel.
Then he seems like a catch.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it wouldn't be too much time before he turns into Urkel, let's be real.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's just that 90s nice guy.
For some reason, Willow's really into him. Willow wants her and Xander to be a thing, but Xander only sees Willow Xander sees Willow as just one of the guys. Xander's for a while he was actually into Buffy.
Yeah.
And then secretly was into Cordelia for a while. They were
yeah.
I don't know, makeout buddies or something. Maybe Xander's a good kisser or something, or who knows? Who knows what Cordelia saw in Xander? She saw something that I don't see. Willow is starting to agree with Buffy that, you know what, maybe there is they think Ted's dead. Maybe there's something into this. Maybe there's something about him.
Because here's the thing. Willow's Buffy's not going to just beat the crap out of Ted for no reason.
She's smart. She's a smart cookie.
She's a smart little witch before she's witch.
She kind of begins, you know what, Xander for a little while was, starting to agree with them, and then he took a bite of the cookie, and within minutes he was back to, you know what, Ted's a great guy. So Willow's wait a second. Let's go to my lab. Yeah, Willow has a lab.
Yeah,
and analyze the cookie. And she finds out that it's some kind of cousin of ecstasy is in the cookie.
Yeah, it's some kind of hallucinogen, mind control sort of thing.
Yeah, so they're all right, we need to go. We need to find out Ted's address. So they find out Ted's address. They go to the house. It's not even a house.
It's not. It's an abandoned storefront.
And they're in there. Cordelia goes with them. They're in there and they're looking around and it's it doesn't look like anyone has ever lived here.
Yeah.
Cordelia's I know. It just looks like a store except for there's this randomly placed oriental rug that's on the ground.
Yeah, this rug that doesn't look like it belongs with anything else in here. And Xander pulls it up and they find a door that'll lead them down. And it's even lower.
It's literally the Dick Van Dyke set. It's just a 50s house, 50s, 60s house.
Yeah.
There's old records playing down there. They have the old 50s house architecture.
I guess this is a bomb shelter or something. So these three teenagers are just wandering around this it's, you know what it kind of reminded me of? The bomb shelter in Blast from the Past. That Brendan Fraser, Alicia Silverstone movie.
Totally was. You know, that's probably what it originally was built for. It's probably originally built for a bomb shelter. The actual Ted.
It's probably part of that set.
Yeah, yeah, leftover. They had it left over from the Brendan Fraser movie set. I guess through other snooping, they find out that Ted's been married 4 other times.
Yeah, they had to go do some old school library snooping because when Willow searched on the internet after Ted gave her all those floppy disks, she couldn't find anything on him.
Yes. There was one weird red flag though, was that Ted's first marriage was in 1957.
Yeah.
They're oh, that's weird. But then they couldn't find any
He must have been married in preschool.
Yeah, they couldn't find any divorce records, so they're I wonder what happened to the wives. And Xander opens up the closet, and it's I guess it's just the skeletons of the wife. We don't actually see any bodies or anything.
There's something creepy there. That's all. He's oh, okay, I know what happened to the other 4 wives. We gotta go.
They tell Buffy. Buffy's relieved. Actually, do they even tell Buffy? I think while this is going on, Ted shows back up.
They don't tell Buffy. Because this is when Ted shows back up, and he, starts to attack Buffy again.
Yeah, so Buffy's in her room, and she, Joyce comes home. Joyce is going to be in the basement, I guess, just like, I don't know, cataloging her artwork down there. And Buffy's like, all right, I'm going to go up in my room.
She's cataloging like Ted's shit, which she has like boxes of, and I don't understand.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, there's a scene. So Buffy comes home and her and like Buffy and Joyce are talking, and Joyce is like boxing stuff, and she's like, I've been meaning to pack this stuff for months. And I'm like, months? This is like Ted's stuff's been there for months, and it's been months since Ted's dead. Like, what's going on?
Like, it's weird. But it's just weird. That's the only way to describe it.
So Joyce goes in the basement. Buffy goes up to her room, and she's gonna like slip out and go patrolling, but the window is nailed shut.
Yeah.
And she's like, the fuck? And so she turns around, and Ted's right there, and I don't know, they get into another fight. Buffy like stabs Ted in the wrist, and he just starts like glitching and starts acting weird and
yeah,
I don't know, very robotic, I would say. Would you say?
Yes, very robotic.
So he knocks
like there's wires fraying and getting crossed.
He knocks Buffy out. Buffy like hits her head and passes out for a few minutes. And then Ted goes downstairs, and that's like Joyce just comes up from the basement.
Well, don't forget that Buffy slashes his arm with something, and like the skin opens, and you see like wires.
Yeah, it's like a nail filer, I think, that she's slashing.
Yeah, it's like a metal nail file. Which, damn, she's got a sharp metal nail file.
Well, she is a slayer. She needs to have these like extra weapons in her arsenal.
True.
Joyce bumps into Ted, and Joyce is like, "Oh my God, Ted, you're alive! It's a miracle!" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I was in the morgue for like 6 days, trapped in the freezer. Some intern found me, but here I am. Let's like start over." But Ted's still glitching, so he's acting weird, and he gets very aggressive towards Joyce.
Yeah.
And starts attacking her. And I don't know, Buffy wakes up, they come out, they have this epic battle. Buffy smashes his face open with a frying pan, like a cast iron frying pan. That was actually Ted's, because I think it's established in the beginning of the episode that it's his cast iron.
Yeah.
Because that's how he makes his mini pizzas that Xander likes. So she smashes Ted's face open. She sees that he's a robot. I guess they dispose of the body. We don't really find out what happens with the remains, but we just get this like beautiful little wrap up scene of Joyce and Buffy. They're out in the front porch. It's like sunset time. And Joyce is like, "I'm so sorry, Buffy, that I doubted that you were a vicious killer. Mm-hmm. It turns out that Ted was actually a monster. What, fuck men, let's go rent a movie, but not a horror or a romance." And Buffy's like, "I guess we're just gonna Thelma and Louise it again." And they laugh, they giggle, they cheers their teacups together, and that's the night in a nutshell, I guess. No more Ted. He's gone. He went away.
Yeah.
Never heard from him again. No, hold on. We do get a wrap-up scene of Buffy at school with Willow, and so I guess Willow dismantled the robot.
Yeah, Willow dismantled it, and Buffy's like, "Tell me you didn't keep any of these pieces," because Willow's talking about like how high tech it was, and like
for the 50s.
Basically, it's like Iron Man levels.
Yeah, so it turns out that Ted was a scientist in the 50s. He found out he had like a few months to live, but he didn't want his wife to be alone, so he created this robot. And the robot kind of took over and had its mind of its own and just started, when the wives eventually died, he just shoved the body in the closet and found a new one. But that closing line, though, of Willow keeping some of the robot parts, it actually comes into play in, I think it's season 6, because Buffy dies at one point.
Uh-huh.
And they don't want the vampires to know that the Slayer's dead. So Willow creates a Buffy bot. And she uses the leftover parts from Ted, so it does call back.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yes, so interesting tidbit that I didn't pick up on it until I rewatched the episode this morning. So, Ooga. Shout out to the Buffy producers for having that foresight, I guess.
For actually
years in advance. Maybe they
tying things together years later.
Yeah, so shout out to them. But I think that's the episode, unless you have any other hot takes on Ted.
There was the part where Giles went out hunting alone, and then he got shot in the back by an arrow from the crossbow by his little girlfriend.
Yeah, the librarian. Oh no, whatever. Computer teacher.
Whatever she is.
Jenny Calendar. Yeah, she's actually a gypsy who was sent to the school to kill Angel.
Of course. Why not? Sure.
But then she found out Angel was good. But then Angel
Yeah.
and Buffy have sex, and Angel loses his soul, and then he kills Jenny Calendar.
Wow.
So, what a twist. What a twist. Spoiler alert.
So, like, at the end of the episode, like, after they're talking about, like, Willow dismantling robot Ted, they're walking into the library, and Buffy, like, goes first, and there's Giles and Jenny Calendar making out, and she's like, that's it. I'm just gonna start blowing a foghorn before I enter rooms.
Yes, and there's another scene that I want to mention, too. Earlier on in the episode, when they're at school, they stop in front of the vending machine, and I freeze-framed, and I just, like, reveled in all the fucking old snack labels of the late 90s. Like, I saw Doritos.
Okay, who are you, Dinosaur Dracula?
I felt like it. The 1997 Dorito, like Cool Ranch Doritos. I saw Fritos, Skittles. Like,
I saw a moon pie.
Oh, I loved it. I wanted more seeds of that.
Yeah, I almost did that myself.
Oh, it was great. Great scene.
But I didn't.
Great scene. And there was also a fun part where they're in Jenny Calendar's like computer lab, and we get to see her like the old 97 style computer monitors. That was a nice trip down memory lane. And the clothes, the Buffy clothes and all the extras. It's like an American Eagle, Aeropostale, Old Navy catalog. It's fucking great. It's like an is it East Bay? Is that the catalog that you used to get like mailed to your house like in August just before school started?
No, I remember getting like an Eddie Bauer catalog, J. Crew.
It was just like a mixture of all those mall store Contempo casuals. Oh, it was great. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like, do any of those stores even exist? Is Eddie Bauer still a thing?
I have not seen an Eddie Bauer in years. I feel like J. Crew is still around, but I could be
wrong. Hold on. There's an Eddie Bauer here in town. It's temporarily closed because of COVID, but...
Can you drive by, like, later on today and snap a pic of it, like, you out in front of the door front?
No, because it's all the way on the other side of town. I don't go to that part of town.
On your way to the art gallery, stop by and take a pic of you in front of the Eddie Bauer.
Like, it's right by an Ulta.
Is it in one of those, like, cool new outside mall type things?
Yeah, one of those outside shopping centers.
Those modern-day strip malls. I love it.
Yeah.
I stand.
But they're, like, all fancy and...
When COVID ends, when the quarantine's over, I want you to just, like, drive down to that side of the town and just do, like, a video tour of you strolling through and just finding all the crazy little stores that are there.
Oh, my God. There's, like, several different parts of town I could do that in.
I can even do it because I feel like because I have a Tanger Outlets and I feel like there might be an Eddie Bauer at the Tanger Outlets. There's definitely, I know there's a Timberland store. There's a Timberland and
there is an Eddie Bauer in Myrtle Beach.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check it out.
It is also temporarily closed.
What?
It's located in the Tanger Outlet.
Does it say which one? We have two Tanger Outlets.
Myrtle Beach, Highway 5.
Highway 501?
I guess.
All right, that's literally 10 minutes on the street from me. You know what? Maybe today when I'm out doing my errands, maybe I'll stop by.
It looks like it's right by a Harley Davidson, which just makes it even better.
I think it's on the inside alleys, the ones that don't really go down that much. Because I usually stick to the outskirts.
Oh.
Well, like the big stores are the ones that you actually want to go to.
Yeah.
Out of 1 out of 5 new boyfriends, how many 1 out of 5 new boyfriends, mom's new boyfriends, would you give this episode? I'm dying to know. I want to know what Cat Hall said is giving this hot app.
I'm going to give it a 3.
A 3. All right. Respectable. Not too bad, not too good. I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's definitely not the best episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We get kind of elements of a good episode, but it just kind of went on too long. I was kind of, I looked at the clock and I saw there was like 15 minutes left and I was kind of ready for it to be over.
Yeah, I was kind of like, this seems to... Like, is this really just an hour? It felt much longer.
Well, because I felt like we had the climax of Buffy killing Ted kind of early on for some reason, and then you're just kind of dealing a lot of maybe Buffy's a criminal, and then we kind of get the end where we find out that he's really a robot, and then it's over, and it's done. It just kind of escalates, and then I kind of feel like how they try to explain it to Joyce was just kind of like dumb, like, oh, like, you know what, he is a monster, glad he's out of town.
Like,
Joyce didn't press charges, like what? And like how did they explain it to the police? Do the police know that he's even alive. We never got like a wrap up with a detective or anything.
Let's be real. These detectives don't know what's going on in this town.
That is true.
Like you said.
That is true.
They're used to like people just vanishing into thin air.
Oh, yeah, it's like, you know what? They disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, were they really concerned about a dead 40-year-old man or just like the piling up of missing teens that's been going on for the last year and a half? Like, what's more concerning to them? What's more pressing?
That's a good question.
I'm excited for next week. I know you're excited for next week.
I'm so excited for next week. I am so excited for next week. Oh my god.
This is a show that we've literally been talking about it for years on the podcast. It comes up a lot. You went through a rewatch at one point.
And I never even got to like the end.
You only had access to whatever episodes they aired on like Antenna TV or Laugh TV or something.
Yeah, like some random TV channel, and then they like stopped.
But we'll find an episode somewhere somehow. I think we saw some on YouTube or something.
We saw something somewhere, and I'm so excited. I love this show. I love that whole world created by the creator. It's just oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're dipping back into Michael Jacobs territory. No, we're not doing Boy Meets World or Girl Meets World. We're not doing Charles in Charge. Not Charles in Charge.
We're not doing dinosaurs.
Instead, you know it. The audience knows it, because what else is there left?
Oh, there's actually quite a bit. The only
My Two Dads
show that rocketed Paul Reiser into our world and Greg Evigan. Oh, My Two Dads. I can't wait.
Yes, which in one episode featured our gal pal Emma Sams. Maybe we'll do that episode if we can find it. Who knows? But we're excited.
Totally true friend of the show.
Actual friend of the show. We've actually talked to her on the internet.
Yes.
Once.
About that episode.
We'll track this episode down. Maybe we can get like a fun soundbite from her. Maybe we can ask her to do like a fun recording of what it was like to hang out with Greg Evigan and Paul Reiser and tell us what they smelled like. Who knows? All right. So join us next week when we get into the wild world of having two dads. Yes, believe it or not, two dads. Two whole dads. Can you imagine that, Kat?
You can count on me.
And no, they're not a couple. They're two straight men who are like equally dating other women and raising a teenage daughter. What a time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
What a time. All right.
Oh my god.
Where can you follow our wild adventures, Kat? Said the author. Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at Varied Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook at A Very Special Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Podcast Addict. Pretty much anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can find us. You have found us somehow, so click subscribe.
And as always, girl,
Bye!
Watch the skies for the airplane that's delivering Joyce Summers all of her art from overseas. I didn't know where to go with that one. We didn't really have any sky things.